Hey everyone, this is Ben here. I just wanted to do a quick little vlog and blog outlining something I wanted to do for 2018. Now I know everyone kind of gets into New Year's resolutions and then like people make New Year's resolutions and then don't keep them. They're a little bit of a fad thing, but sometimes I like to set myself challenges and rules. And even if I don't fully go through with what I plan, like I still find them useful. So I've kind of got this new challenge, and the challenge I want to set myself is, can I read a different poet every year during 2018? I've had this kind of idea for a while to kind of maybe it was going to be a monthly thing. I didn't really expect it would be a yearly thing, just to read like a poem a day or whatever. Kind of in the similar vein to stuff like the Dirty 30 and National Poetry Month and all that sort of stuff, where you challenge yourself to write a poem a month. But a little bit different in that, yeah, I want to be consuming poetry as much as I'm producing it as well, and I think it's a really important thing. So I've set myself this challenge. The challenge is basically each day for 2018, 365 days. It's not a leap year next year, I don't think. I have to read a poet every day, and I've decided that it has to be a different poet every day. So that's 365 poets over the course of a year, and I've decided it's definitely reading. So I have to read a poem off the page or off the screen in text. I love going to gigs, and live poetry performance is kind of like the main way I love to consume poetry. I love watching poetry videos, and I'll always watch those. But for this particular challenge, I'm kind of restricting it down to reading a poem a day for 365 days. I haven't set myself any like other rules in particular. Like I don't want to be rigid about the kinds of poets, and I want to read like a range of it, like men, women, poets from different racial backgrounds, dead poets, alive poets, poets that are probably watching this vlog right now, poets I've never met before, poets I've read before, different styles, that all that kind of stuff, and just. And I'm not going to set myself rules or like ratios or quotas for reading certain types of poems. But I am going to keep track of it. Like I'm going to have a spreadsheet that keeps track of all the poets I read and some stuff about them. So I can kind of, I guess, keep track of my biases if they're developing up. And maybe like sometimes I'll notice that I'm lacking something in my reading, and I might challenge myself to read more of that type of poetry, or read something from a particular kind of poet for a week or so, just to like kind of address something or focus on something. Maybe I'll continue to do these vlogs and blogs throughout the year to kind of update on how I'm going and like let people know what I'm reading and what I like reading, and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Maybe some other rules would be like, if I'm going to read from anthologies, like I'm not going to just like read back-to-back poems, like just keep reading from that same anthology in the same week. So I can't, like a rule would be, if I read a poem from an anthology, I can't read another poem from another poet in the same anthology the next day or whatever, just to kind of make it a bit harder. And so I'm like looking at different poets, but even that might that might change. I think the idea behind this is that I want to kind of focus my reading a bit more and kind of challenge myself to keep reading regularly. Focus myself to keep reading regularly, focus on like other people's work as well as my own, see if this can influence my own writing. But also, I guess maybe I'm not really necessarily asking everyone to come on board with me and do it with me. If someone wants to do that, that would be fantastic. But more, I kind of think as poets, we kind of really do need to take interest in other people's work, and that's what I want to do more of. It's a way of me doing this and kind of encouraging that, I guess. So yeah, follow along with me. Let us know what you think of the challenge. I will, from January 1, which is in 2 days' time, I'm going to start. And and I'll keep track of all the different poets I read. I've got like already fuckloads of poetry books sitting around my house. I've bought them from gigs around Melbourne, stuff when I went to America this year and so forth. Like, yeah, there's fuckloads of poetry books and anthologies and magazines and stuff I picked up that honestly, like, you know, I've got like this pile of books, poetry books that I've been intending to read and never got around to it. And sometimes like reading a whole, I don't really read poetry in terms of like a whole poetry collection. I don't really, sometimes I do that, but like very rarely. Like I don't read poetry collections back to back, just like cover to cover or whatever. I just prefer to dip in and out, which makes it easier to fall out of habit of reading poetry. So I guess that's another reason for doing it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this vlog, let us know what you think about the challenge, about your own reading habits. Yeah, and we'll see how we go. If you want to see more of these vlogs, if you're interested, yeah, let me know about that as well. I'll post them on my personal YouTube channel, as well as my personal website, and all that sort of stuff, benjaminsolah.com. Cool. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.